Hey guys, Katie here. September is finally over, and although it is technically fall, it is still 80 degrees where I live, which is terrible. Today I am going to show you the books that I read in September. It's been a pretty rough month for me, so I've had a really hard time getting videos up, but I am hoping that things are going to even out now. The first book that I read in September was We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. I did a review for this. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. Please check out my review if you're interested. I tried really hard to stay away from spoilers. I will link my review below and a few other reviews that I saw for it. It's a great book, just a little bit complicated. The next book I read this month was The Hours by Michael Cunningham, something that I've been looking forward to reading for a really long time, and it lived up to all my expectations. The only thing I haven't been able to do yet is watch the movie, which I said I would do last weekend or the weekend before that, but it's incredibly depressing, and since I brilliantly went off my anxiety medication, I don't think I can handle it right now. Which, by the way, is something that has affected all of my reading this month, so it's been kind of crazy. I did a review for this. I feel really good about it. I actually felt really good about my Karen Joy Fowler review, but I had audio issues, so that sucked. My awesome friend John gave me a shotgun mic that he didn't need anymore, and I couldn't get it to work with my camera. The third book I read was The Stone Gods by Jeanette Winterson. I said it before, I think, in my TBR for this month, that I read The Passion by Jeanette Winterson, and I really enjoyed it. I would like to reread it now. Steve Reed's Books had talked about this, and his review sold me, and I read it and I loved it, and it was just an incredible experience because it just really dug deep, and it was just so relevant to what's going on today in the world. So it's really important. I did a review for this. Please check it out and check out Steve Reed's Books review. And I will just say that a lot of my reading lately is heavily influenced by Stephen, just because he is really good at convincing you to read books, and also he reads good books, so yeah. That's how it is. The fourth and final book that I finished in the month of September was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Another Steve Reed's Books recommendation, but also Max from Well Done Books and Liz Loves Lit's Gone Girl Read Along. I really wanted to read it, and I'm glad I did. And once again, I was so sad the whole time I read this book because it's just about terrible people. Just terrible people. Anyway, I'd like to do a review of this. I have some complicated opinions that I would love to share, and I will definitely get to that as soon as I can. And I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I started this month but didn't finish for different reasons. The first one being A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. I was reading this with the Writers of Color book club, which I really appreciate, and I'm trying really hard to get involved with them. It's been tough though. It's been a bad couple of months to be trying to get into another Goodreads group, but I'm trying. This book I was reading in the beginning of the month, and there is a lot about suicide in this book, which is fine. I wasn't worried that it was gonna make me suicidal or anything. I was just concerned that it was going to depress me because it was really upsetting, and suicide was an issue in the Hours. I think it was mentioned in The Stone Gods, so there came a point in the month where I was like, I cannot keep reading all these books about suicide because it's just too hard for me. So I want to finish this book, and I will. I just need to take a break. I'm about halfway through. As far as I've heard from Lisa at My Book World 2 and other people, the second half is the better half anyway, so hopefully I can get back to it at some point, but my reading plate is ridiculously full at this point. What can you do? I started reading Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston in Banned Book Week, which I think still was a good idea. I am really into this book, but the dialect is kind of difficult, so I might start listening to the audiobook while I read it just to make it a bit easier. For some reason it really stumped me, and it's just not an easy book to read. But the writing is just so incredible. It really is. It's an amazing book. So I'm still working on this, and it'll be something that hopefully I finish in October. So I had this idea for a video a while ago, and I started doing research on it, And ultimately I scrapped the idea because I think it was a little bit too straightforward for booktube. I don't think I'm ready to come out and say the things I really feel about what I was going to talk about. But something that I stumbled on was a quote from Howard's End by E.M. Forster. I read this book in college, and it's been a long time actually. It's been not even that long because I just graduated in 2012. And my point is, the quote was just wonderful, and I was like, this is exactly what I need to read right now because it's uplifting and it's about relationships, and I can't even say enough about this book. I started it and I immediately knew that it was the perfect book to be reading. And if not for crushing sinus headaches, I would probably be done with this book, but crushing sinus headaches. I think this is a fantastic classic. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it, and hopefully I will finish it very soon and have a review for it very soon, or at least a discussion or something. Last but not least, I feel like I should mention that I have been reading The Magician King by Lev Grossman on my Kindle while I work out, and I am shocked that I kind of love it actually. I read The Magicians and I never did a review because it was before I started BookTube, but I hated it. I hated it. I hated Quentin. I hated everything about it. I read it because I was curious and I felt like the writing's good, like there's something here. Why don't I like this book? But I just think Quentin was too awful, and I could not find anything to hang on to in that book that made any sense, and it felt really like disjointed. It felt like separated, and everything was really random. I don't really know, but The Magician King is fun and interesting, and I like fillery, and Quentin is much better, and there are a lot of interesting things going on. It's flowing better, so just in general it is 100% better, and I'm so glad I'm reading it. I picked it because Sana at Inkbones Books loves the series, and I feel like if she loves it, I will love it because I think she's fantastic. She's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna finish that soon, slowly though, because I'm gonna keep reading it while I work out because I really like having it to come back to. And strangely enough, I also feel like I'm retaining the information more somehow. I don't know how that works, but it's working, and I'm gonna go with it. Those are the books that I read or started to read in September. Like I said, it's been a crazy month, and I really hope that October is better. I'm going back on my medicine, and I am just looking forward to no more stress because it's been stressful at work and at home, and life is crazy. And so I hope I'll be back soon with a lot of videos. If you've read any of these books, leave a comment below, and also let me know what you read last month. Anyway, I will probably see you guys tomorrow with my book list for the month of October. Tentative, my TBR. So I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.